You can support this podcast for $3 a month at patreon.com/copytradersclub, or find me on eToro, username Gavin Macaulay, and add me to a watch list for future content. Thanks for listening. Copytraders Club, where you can learn how to make better decisions and more money copy trading. I'm Gavin Macaulay, my name and username on eToro. My aim as an eToro enthusiast is to demystify this new and uncharted world of copy trading, understand what are the pitfalls and best practices, and how ultimately to succeed as a copy trader. Here we go. Yes, indeed. It's Copy Traders Club, Series 3, Episode 20. And today we're checking in with Simone Rizzetto. Hello, Simone.
Hello everybody. Thank you for having me.
Well, I hope you're doing well. Our first appearance, or your first appearance, was back in April 2022, 14 months ago. Doesn't seem that long. And we talked for about an hour about your investing style and your particular interest in biotech and companies focused on the fight against cancer. I'll leave a link to that episode in the show notes if anyone wants to have a deep dive into Simone. So, first thing I want to do is, we're going to do a bunch of questions later on that are randomly selected from a list that I have of 43 or so. And before we do so, can you give us maybe just a little bit of an update in terms of, has anything much happened in that specific world that you have a great interest in? Like, I see news stories cropping up every now and then about a breakthrough, pancreatic cancer or colorectal cancer. Have there been any really significant breakthroughs since we last spoke?
Well, things doesn't change very fast day by day. So, drug developments in general, healthcare, it's a very long and tedious process. So you won't expect significant changes in just 1 year. Overall, there has been some progresses across many different therapeutics area. In terms of investments or like the market, the industry overall, we have seen a bit of a polarizations between biotech and larger pharmaceutical companies. So that happened already since last time we met, with risky small biotechs that have been dropping in share price compared to larger pharmaceutical companies who have been performing quite well in 2022, despite the interest rates and everything. But things now are going back to normal. This polarization stopped, at least now is steady. Some cases we have seen a significant recovery by smaller biotechs, especially in the range of like $1 billion market cap. Not so just recently, I think 2 days ago, something like that, one of my small biotechs has been went to be acquired, let's say. Still has to be approved by the board of has been approved by the board. It needs to be voted by all the shareholder, but very likely will go through. So things are moving. There is needs for cash because drug development is expensive, and this company don't have way to raise significant amount of money nowadays because their share price is low, and their cash reserve is getting to the end. So many of them are gonna be acquired probably.
I see you did a post recently.
Yes.
Which was about surface oncology. Is that one you're
Yeah,
talking about?
that was yeah, exactly. Yes.
Okay. Well, let me see if I can share the screen here. I had this all set up beautifully. Here we go.
Great.
Yes. Coherus Biosciences to acquire Surface Oncology Inc.
Yeah.
While we're sharing the screen, we'll have a little look at your results. (2022) was minus 31.3%, but you're bouncing back pretty healthily in 2023 so far, 35.5 over. How much of your good results is to do with tech bouncing back? Because when I look at your portfolio, I'm not sure if this has changed too much from the last time we spoke, but there's a lot of tech names high up in your portfolio, the likes of Microsoft, Nvidia, AMD. A lot of the hot boys of 2023 are present.
Okay. My portfolio, the stocks are like always been in my portfolio pretty much, especially Microsoft, Nvidia. The reason is that I'm very excited about AI, even if I always think about what will be the impact in healthcare. I think AI is going to apply so broadly to many different sectors. One of the most exciting one is probably healthcare, because that's where we really are going to see the benefits of AI in improving human health. So yeah, there is rationale to have AI stocks in a healthcare portfolio. A lot, they have been helping a lot, very significantly, I will say. Nvidia especially has been terrific in 2023. There have been some biotech stocks who have been performing equally as well. For instance, Bridge Bio is one of that.
Look at that.
Yes. Exact Science, it's another one. So I can tell a bit more about these two stocks. So Exact Science, it's early cancer detection technology, let's say. They use blood tests to detect cancer in earlier stages. I think today it's quite up significantly in the pre-market, because they just released some pretty good data from their colorectal cancer screening tool. So it's improving data technology, is showing significances in how early they can detect cancer when it's still curable. Has been like the other biotech stocks, has been heavily affected in the past year, but now it's bouncing back quite a lot, and hasn't been back to the all-time high yet, but it can get there. Similarly, Bridge Bio, that's not related to cancer. This is more involved in different type of diseases, rare genetic diseases, for instance. That was actually one of the major driver for Bridge Bio earlier this year. So they had a pretty good phase 2 clinical trials data, and in pre-market like jumped 80% in one day, and then that's it. And then it remains stable for
Okay, well, I suppose then for everything to go wonderfully in your world, you want those recent trends to continue and China to bounce back, because I see all your biggest red positions, or most of them, are Chinese stocks. But listen, we better get on with the random questions.
Sure.
Before we go too much further, because that's where, I mean, we may still delve into your portfolio and things that you've done recently as a result of these questions. But some of them, I warn you, will be very, what's the word? Flippant and silly. Okay. 22. Yoni hires you as a management consultant. What's the one area of their business that eToro is under prioritizing?
I will say risk management for users. So I think many investors on eToro, especially beginners, they don't realize the risk and the volatility of market. So I think educating people to have more, or like creating tools for people to help them to create more robust, more stable portfolio. I think that's one of the interesting things I will probably try to do.
Okay. Next question. 28. In your opinion, who is the most underrated popular investor? And you're not allowed to say yourself.
Okay. I was not going to say myself. I think underrated. Okay. There is one German, I think it's German popular investor, Canon Abel is his name. I've been checking his statistics performance over the past years. I think it's significantly performed quite well. So I think it's one of the most underrated one.
Do you think he's restricted by the fact that he does everything in German, not English?
No, I haven't followed up how a strategy changed over time too much. I know it started with investing in the DAX, but probably then it, if I remember correctly, expanded to more ETF. But I may be wrong, so maybe you may want to check how the strategy changed. But
Number 8. Do you ever suffer from imposter syndrome as a popular investor?
of course, I'm not an investor. I don't even have business degree. I don't know about all the financial numbers. I'm definitely an imposter.
Okay. All right. Good answer. Next question is 21. You can answer this in terms of investing, in terms of an asset, or just generally in life if you want. What's one thing that everyone seems to like that you don't?
Okay. Everything's like everybody's like. I don't know. This question keeps the answer to this question keeps changing. If I have to talk specifically in my space, I would say in healthcare, for instance, or like biotech. A lot of people in the past were attracted to gene editing stocks, but I like very few of the stocks actually found it attractive. Also, the technology itself interesting. I wouldn't call it as promising as many call it. More in general, what I have things I like that people don't like. That's more such as metaverse. So 1 year ago, everybody liked metaverse. Now nobody like it, but I still find it fascinating as the Meta, Facebook, their concept of metaverse. I think it was misunderstood by many. Everybody criticized Meta and Zuckerberg that graphics it's ugly and so on. But I think they didn't really understood exactly what is their definition of metaverse. It's still one of my
Just looking for Meta in your portfolio. Oh, it's one of your top holdings.
Okay.
Sitting at 78%.
Yes, because I've been adding as it was dropping.
Okay, next number. 42. Do you scrape your tongue or floss as part of your oral hygiene regimen?
Yes, I floss sometimes, not every time. Just
How regularly?
Say maybe floss my teeth once a week, I guess.
With a string or with a little device that has floss on it?
No, with a string.
Yeah, it's very awkward though, getting your hands in and around.
I have the stick.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
And you do.
Yeah,
easier.
The stick's better. No tongue scraping?
No, not very often.
That's what everyone's tuning in to find out. This kind of detail.
Yes.
36. Investors often say they make many mistakes and learn from them. What was your most recent serious mistake, and what did you learn from it?
I think one of the most serious mistake was probably in Chinese stocks. Many people have done it, but I think the mistakes there was focus too much on the technology itself and minimize the political situations. Probably the key takeaway there is to try to have a more broader understanding of everything that can affect stock prices. I was not expecting that there was such a heavy crackdown on on basically private companies in China, and I still find it promising on some aspects, but yes, I definitively that was a mistake, I would say.
All right. Next question, number 2. What's the worst thing about being a PI?
Okay. I will say it gives you a lot of responsibilities. You don't control the money, but you control their investments. They can always stop anytime, but you ultimately decide how the money will be invested. So that means you need to keep them updated. There is you cannot just stop for like a month and disappear. So you need to keep them informed. Make sure you are understanding the risk, and if things goes bad, you would probably have trouble to sleep at night sometimes.
Okay. I think this better be our last question. Number 39. Do we want to go out on this question? What is your star sign and what does that mean to you?
Okay. I'm Aquarius. Is that what you're asking?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And what does that mean to you?
To me, nothing. I am not following that. But fun things is that when people ask me and I reply Aquarius, they said, I was expecting that. I don't know what that means, but I'm basically an Aquarius.
You should start telling them you're a Leo, and they'll be like, "Oh, I knew you were going to say that."
Yeah, I will try. I'll try next time.
Okay, let's try and have one more question. Hopefully, it's not quite so flippant. 25. Okay, what's the worst kind of PI behavior in your book?
Okay. I think overall the worst behavior is just to things goes bad, they just disappear, and then they just opt out of the program. You really want to avoid that. It's bad for the copiers. It's bad for other PIs as well, because it will basically compromise the whole copy trading system. As if people lose faith in the system, then everybody will be compromised.
Okay, very good. Well, Simone, I've got your name is still up there and your username on eToro, Simone Rizzetto 88. How do you say that in Italian? 88.
88.
Beautiful. Well, thanks very much for coming back to check in with us, and we hope to catch up with you again sometime at Copytraders Club.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me. See you next time.
That's all from me. See you on Discord and Facebook. Until next time we meet at Copytraders Club, I wish you many happy returns. Obviously, anything you hear in this podcast is for entertainment only, not financial advice. Do your own research. This is just generic chit chat. We don't know your individual circumstances, etc., and so forth.